next time you get on a motorcycle without a helmet, will you think about the consequences and risk that may follow? Sure, riding around with your hair blowing in the wind, going 70 miles per hour, might be fun, but is it really worth risking your life? Many people know the risk of riding without helmets, but they would rather worry about their looks. Looks aren't going to be important when it comes to having an accident. These safety laws are tremendously important. Yes, some states have helmet laws, but there are 50 states and only 19 have helmet laws. And the 19 states with mandatory helmet laws on my map are the states that are in blue, and 31 states with freedom to choose are the states in green, which leaves 74% of the U.S. risking their lives by not wearing a helmet. According to the Governor's Safety Association in 1969, the federal government made it mandatory for states to enact a universal motorcycle helmet law to qualify for highway safety funds. All but 3 agreed. This research proves that there are states in danger. According to my stats I stated earlier, the rate of states without laws have increased since 1967. Not everyone rides a motorcycle, but more than likely someone in your family or close friend does, and you want to protect them, right? Helmets are not guaranteed to save your life, but they are better than having no protection at all. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, about 1,800 people's lives were saved in 2015 due to wearing a helmet. We need to support and encourage these people to wear helmets while riding. I would like for you to gain more knowledge about the helmet safety laws and where they are present, how motorcycles can affect you, and why this is such an important law. What are safety laws? When we think of helmets, most think of riding your bike down the driveway as a child, but this is far more important. Riding a motorcycle, unlike a bike, you're on a paved public road going 60 plus miles per hour. This is a very good example on why we have safety laws on such things. The definition of a law is a rule of conduct or action prescribed, formally recognized as binding or enforced by a controlling authority. This is an example of fines in Mississippi. The first time you violate the law, you are fined $100. A second violation is up to $200, and the third violation is at least $500. Also, along with the fines, they can either charge you the money or you could be taken into custody for a certain amount of time depending on your violation. There are only 2 states currently that are 100% free of this law, and they are Illinois and Iowa. Now, let's talk about how much this law affects the U.S. daily. Think about how many people you see on the motorcycles while going to work or to school. Motorcycles are very popular in the U.S. Dr. Thomas Friedman, who was a former CDC director, once stated, "Our role is to identify ways to prevent injuries and death and rigorously check to see what works and what does not work." For motorcycle safety, the research shows that universal helmet laws are the most effective way to reduce the numbers of deaths and traumatic brain injuries that result from crashes. As simple as it may be, wearing a helmet might be the difference between life or death. An article from Mortally Weekly Report states that about 12% of the fatally injured motorcyclists did not have a helmet on in states that universal helmet laws, whereas with 64% in partial helmet law states and 79 in states without a helmet law. Just because you may not ride a motorcycle doesn't mean it doesn't affect you. I state this because it can be physically harmful by being on the road with them and they wreck, and mentally from losing a loved one from an accident. I have stated a lot of statistics to convince you to support these helmet laws. Now, let's look at why this is such an important factor. A parent's biggest fear is for their child to start driving. Imagine how they feel when their child gets on a motorcycle. Motorcycles may look fun, but they are one of the most dangerous vehicles on the roads today. Helmets are a simple fix that can help the risk of riding a motorcycle. Los Angeles Times states that more than 5,000 motorcycle riders died in 2015. These stats are compared to the 4,000 deaths in 2014. 2015 was the third year in history that the death rate was above 5,000. Helmets are so simple, are so important due to the fact that they can save your life from a serious brain injury that could affect you for the rest of your life. In closing, I have stated a lot of statistics and reasoning behind supporting helmet laws. Now, I would like to summarize it all up for you. The thought of riding a motorcycle without a helmet makes me cringe. To think that any second an accident could happen. This is not just a problem in the U.S., it's a problem all across the globe. You may think that it doesn't affect people without motorcycles, but it does. This is why having this law enforced is so important. No one wants to lose a loved one or have them injured. So join me in supporting the law of wearing a helmet at all times when riding a motorcycle. The helmet laws have been issued in many states, but a few states are still lacking. People not wearing helmets are affecting people physically and mentally, and it's just time we put a stop to it. We need to support and enforce these laws to save the lives of the ones in danger. There are many consequences and risks that go along with not having a helmet on. I hope from what I've said, you don't want to experience these consequences. A verse from the Bible in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17, verse 5 reads, "He had a bronze helmet on his head, and he was clothed with a scale armor, which weighed 5,000 shekels of bronze." Just like in this verse, they used a helmet and armor to protect themselves. Let's put on our helmets and spread the support of this great law.